Do you miss the mob lifestyle?
You know, I'd be lying if I say I didn't at times, but you know, people ask me all the time, they say, do you miss the money? Do you miss the power and all that? You know, to a degree. I mean, look, it's great when you have anything you can want at your disposal because you got enough money to take care of it. I had my own jet plane, I had a Lear 25A, I had a Bell helicopter, I had a couple of big automobile agencies that I owned, so I drove whatever car I want, and you know, basically had homes all over the country. So yeah, that's nice. But you know what I really miss? I miss the camaraderie that we had with the guys. You know, what was so attractive to me about that life is, hey, when you come in, it's a brotherhood. Don't ever worry about your wife, your daughter, your sister. We got their backs wherever you go. You know, if somebody hurts you, we got somebody to back you up. That's very powerful, very, very powerful. And I miss that kind of camaraderie that I had. So, you know, I also nice, you know, going into the back room. I'm gonna tell you this, for those of you that saw Goodfellas, Henry Hill, he never walked in through the back kitchen of the Copacabana, I can tell you that now. But I did many times, first with my dad and then later on with myself. You know, it's nice to go in and get a ringside table and be treated that way. So to say I didn't miss it, you know, I'd be lying.
How do you learn the art of the sit down then? Because that's part politics, like part journalism. Sounds like some of the interviews I've had when I was running to be mayor. Like they're trying to trip you up. If you say the wrong one thing, that's the thing that'll kill you. Like how do you learn how to negotiate that?
A lot of it is experience. You know, you make mistakes in the beginning, but I was fortunate. I had my dad who schooled me well and, you know, who taught me basically how to conduct myself in these things. And you know, one thing, Brian, the major thing my dad taught me that has worked for me my entire life, and in a serious way, I'll get into it, is be a good listener. Don't run your mouth. Don't be the first to, you know, present you. Just be a good listener. Let the other guy make a mistake. Think, you know, hard. Be prepared going in. And for me, I became a major target of law enforcement. Major target. They never got me on tape saying anything wrong. Never. There was one undercover operation they had me on. They had 83 tape recordings on me. It was this whole thing with Don King and Al Sharpton. They couldn't use one of them because I never made a mistake on the tape because I was always listening. I was careful how I spoke. And I credit my father in listening to him, you know, okay, I understand it, Dad, you know, so you gotta be careful who you talk to. Same thing when you sit down. Let the guy present himself. You know, I always say this too. You go into a meeting, sometimes you're the smartest guy in the room, but you don't want anybody to know it. Let them think you're a dummy, you don't know anything. And they're yapping away, right? It's a big advantage. There's other times when you're not the smartest guy in the room, but if you keep your mouth shut, nobody knows that. They don't know it, so you let them talk, commit themselves. By the time they're finished, then you can become the smartest guy in the room because they told you everything, you know. Here's the thing, it's all about the media, it's all about entertainment. I mean, look, when The Godfather came out, guys on the street were acting different because it elevated the persona of guys on the street in a big way. I'm telling you, I witnessed it, I watched it. All of these movies, I speak to young kids. Michael, come on, man. You know, you had the cars, you had the money, you had all the women, you had people catering to you all the time. I said, I know. That was Goodfellas, right? Did you watch the second half of the movie? Who got killed, who lost everything, who went to jail? They don't see that. They only see the money, the power, and that's an aphrodisiac to people. Brian, when I first started speaking, I was pretty well known in New York. We had a hot name. Maybe on the West Coast, Florida, yes, because where I got indicted there too. In the Midwest, Texas, nobody knew who I was. They put on a marquee, the mob guy is gonna be there, standing room only. People are interested in the lifestyle. It's all the media, Hollywood, entertainment, the news. I mean, John Gotti, come on. You know, how many people wanted to be John Gotti? How many people wanted to be Michael Corleone, Vito Corleone? It's the media.
Because they see the upside, but they don't see what comes.
They don't see it, and they don't pay attention to it.
You actually had a lot of things going on you had stuff going on with dealerships, you own all these different things with cars.
Patrick, I bought a Mazda agency when you couldn't give a Mazda away.
I remember reading that.
Because the Wankel engines were exploding, you couldn't give one away. And I built that into the biggest agency on Long Island, as far as Mazda was concerned. And it was a lot of work, and I had to do things differently, but I was able to build it. I think I had a head for business, I had a knack for it. Now, you know, don't get me wrong. I'm not the smartest business guy around because there's a lot of things in business I don't enjoy doing. but there were certain talents that I had that worked well for me. And I always tell people this, when you're in business, I don't think it's a good thing to micromanage because nobody can do everything good. But here's the deal, do what you do best and delegate the rest. And then be a good watcher of these people. Make sure you get the most out of them. That's how you do it. It's, you can't hang out with the wrong people and be accountable to the wrong people, continue to do the wrong things and think it's gonna end up okay. It's the definition of insanity, keep doing the same wrong thing, think you're gonna have a different outcome. So, look, in this life I have found out, number one, we are who we hang out with. We're judged by the people we surround ourselves with and who we are accountable to.